Yeah. Ready? Let's get it. I'm telling you why, you can see in their eyes, them boys ain't playing, they ready to ride. Shaking the tunnel, just screaming and yell, if you ain't ready, you get eaten alive. Taking the field with loads of passion, swagging out with the flyest fashions. Cameras out and they steady flashing, captains out, we about to get it cracking. Full of crashing in between those lines. You boys, we about to ride, we a band of brothers and we stick together like an army mission when it's wartime. We stacking them W's, pay attention. Opponents coming with apprehension, we stay on top of our division. Went from BCS buses to playoff contenders. We on the rise up, now the boys mad. We had to tighten them boys up. We here for the crown. Utes, we on the rise up, now the boys mad.
That's right.
We had to tighten them boys up. We here for the crown.
Welcome back, everybody, to the latest Utah Football Fans podcast episode. We took a week off. Now we're back.
It's good to be back.
We took the bye week too.
It was the bye.
I needed it.
You know, we
mentally,
needed to rest
physically,
up.
Feel the injuries.
Nagging ankle injury from stepping on the bleacher. I had to ice it. It was a whole thing.
And hey, we had a game on Saturday, and boy, was it a game. We will get into it. Follow us, like, subscribe. Please leave us a review. We're all in all.
A positive review, please.
Yeah, maybe I need to clarify.
If you haven't read some of the negative ones, though, you should. They're pretty funny. They're pretty good. There's quite a few people that are like, these people are morons, but the blonde's pretty cute.
Oh,
True.
thanks.
So it's pretty
What a
inappropriate these days, but
what
okay.
a compliment.
I'm going to cancel
Very
all of you.
intellectual.
That's just great. I'll even take the compliment from Zubies. It's fine. But leave us a review, a positive one.
Positive
please.
one, we need it.
We'll get into the game, but it is Monday, and of course we wanted to touch on that today was Aaron Lowe's funeral. I'm sure all of you have seen the fact that our entire team went to Texas to be at the funeral, to participate in the funeral. I don't think I expected that the team and the coaching staff would be as involved in the funeral as they were. Quite a few of them spoke. Coach Witt, Coach Shaw, even Taylor Randall, the president of the University of Utah, he was there, and I think he said a few words, and then some of his fellow players. I didn't watch the funeral. I've seen some of the clips of it, but just heartbreaking. And seeing his teammates and his coaches act as the pallbearers is what really got me. I mean, that's incredibly emotional. It's just horrific.
It was. I watched a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. It was a great tribute to Aaron. I would just recommend, if you haven't had a chance to see it, I'm sure you can go find a link, probably on our Facebook page. You could probably find the link and watch the...
Well, we did have somebody in our Facebook group who was there. I can't remember her name now, but she was posting videos.
Yeah,
so
it's her, and there were a couple of other places you can find it. And they're probably there still to find. Just research it, look it up. You can find it. It's worth listening to. And like you said, it was really cool to see the team walk in. Of course, all the U of U stuff, the helmets that they had out. But the Reverend Davis was there. He spoke, which was fantastic. Coach Witt spoke, like you mentioned. Mark Harlan spoke.
Oh, okay.
And then Taylor Randall, the president of the university, was there, and he spoke. Coach Shaw, which was fantastic.
Yeah, if you haven't heard Coach Shaw's, it's made me emotional.
It was emotional. And then the three players came up. Clark Phillips, he was there probably more for support. He didn't say anything. Jackson spoke it was great. And then I forgot the last player. I think he's a freshman corner. Hasn't seen any action yet. I think he was a roommate to Aaron, and what he said was great. So I would just recommend anyone that hasn't had a chance to listen, maybe watch it and listen. It's worth it. And we just send our love and prayers out to his mother, his family, and his brothers on the team.
Well, and you think about, so we played football against Washington State, and then this happened the next day. It was absolutely horrible. And our team has been dealing with that during the bye week. And then we go to USC, have an amazing game. We win. 2 days later, they're going to the funeral for their friend. Like this, the ups and downs over the last few weeks that our team is going through. We're just going to mention again, we did post this. James, you posted it in our Facebook group. These players are going through so much, and you can see that in what I just said, the ups and downs of what they've had to go through this last week. So we have made the executive decision in our Facebook group, but we're just not going to take the player bashing, the coach bashing at all this year. A lot of people get really into it. They attack the players personally, the coaches personally. We all understand getting frustrated about certain things in a game, but this year we're just not going to have it.
Yeah.
The team's going through too much. We need positivity and support, and that's all they need from us right now. And the football is just a game, and we need to remember that, especially this year.
Well said.
Well said. Yeah, we're just not going to tolerate it. I last year I got as frustrated as anybody. Same things. This year, can we just be positive? These guys have been through more in the last 9 months than most of us have ever had to experience. I mean, they've lost 2 family members. Teammates, but it's family.
Yeah, you can see that by the funeral today.
You can see the funeral. I mean, it was emotional, and then everything you just said. I'm not going to go back into it, but let's be positive.
Yeah.
No booing, no calling for anybody's head or any of that. Okay, let's have some fun. Be positive. Support the crap out of these guys. I mean, the fact that they actually, first of all, are still playing football. Mm-hmm. If they had just said, you know what, we're hanging it up, I would have supported them fully.
Which I'm sure all of you probably did hear this, that it does sound like Aaron Lowe's mom did address the team last week, and she very much gave them the encouragement to go on and said this is what Aaron would want from all of you. And I think that gave them a boost, but grief is hard and it's horrible, and it's going to be such an up and down thing for the rest of the season, for the rest of their lives. So we, as Utah football fans, are only here to support them this year more than ever. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Well, there was a game, and
was quite the
fact
game.
that they were able to get their heads right.
Jaquindon Jackson said, if you listen to him, he goes, that victory was for Aaron.
Yeah.
He made that statement.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's cool. So,
and real quick, they're retiring number 22.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be an official thing. And Whittingham even said last week, we hadn't addressed it, he said that as long as he was coach, no one would ever wear 22 again. And he was hoping it'd be a permanent thing. So they're going to retire number 22, and I love it. I think it's a great decision. So
okay, so USC, we took them out, man.
But we hadn't been in the Coliseum for
42.
116 years.
You know what bugged me? There were so many media outlets after the game that kept saying it was our first win in the Coliseum, and I'm thinking I kept seeing all the things that we hadn't won since 1916, but we have won there before, right?
not at the Coliseum.
Oh, that's why.
We've beat USC at USC.
But it
we've
wasn't
never,
the Coliseum.
Yeah, but we've only played in the Coliseum, what?
I know, like 6 times.
6, 8 times. I mean, it's a big deal, but it was a
We
big
never won
W.
it down there.
By the way, I'm staring at the biggest bug
What are we
on the
looking at?
wall in the bunker. What is that?
What the freak is that thing?
Where?
All right, hold on.
It's a bunker critter.
My gosh.
Don't make it fly.
If you haven't noticed, we've moved. We're in an actual
We're a new
bunker now.
Well, and there's a giant.
Just let it be.
No, I gotta look at this
Bug.
thing.
No, because if it flies, then we're in trouble.
You're gonna tear your. You're gonna tear your headphones.
Freaking horse fly.
No, that's not a fly.
That's not a fly.
That's like a beetle. Anyways,
He's pissed off now too.
USC.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's talk USC.
Keep your eye on it, because if it disappears, then I'm gonna be freaked out.
God dang, that thing is huge.
Okay. Let's talk about the game. Obviously, I mean,
It was a
we
butt
beat 'em.
whooping.
It was sweet. It
was amazing.
42-26. But let's start here. Probably not the places you would usually start, but this, as I thought about it, let's start here. And you tell me what you think. 0 turnovers.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, think about that.
Yes.
0 turnovers, man. We had
They didn't put
the fumble risky. The other,
Well, we didn't even put the ball on the ground. Like, it wasn't even like we fumbled it.
I think we dropped one. I think Ryzen dropped one. He recovered it or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. He did.
But look, we know
All that aside.
no no turnovers of
turnovers.
any kind, and it matters
well, yeah, considering the last game we played, we
all
turned
season.
it over. Like,
Every
that's true.
game we've
That's
had
true.
that's been a problem. So number one, that's one of Witt's number one things anyway. And we had a pick. Davis, I think it was Vontae Davis picked it off.
On the 4th down play.
So and we got an interception. But anyway, we didn't turn it over. Second, which I thought was, we had 2 penalties the whole game.
And
No turnovers, 2
is
penalties.
that right?
That's it.
That's right.
They were both on Ford then. He had the personal foul and an illegal block.
Just saying, that's clean.
Which
no
are-
turnovers and 2 penalties.
How is that possible?
I'm sure that's right. Look it up, man. You look at your stats.
Can I look at my phone now?
Look at that thing you got right there.
I can't. I'm watching Julian Blackman cause a fumble that went all the way back for a touchdown.
nice.
Nice job, Blackman, but they're reviewing it, so we'll see.
2 penalties. That's
I think that's correct.
impressive.
So 2 penalties. And okay, so that alone sets you on a course for victory. Your thoughts on
Here, I'll give you my thoughts.
no on this.
Okay, my
Let
thoughts.
me move on this. I won't reference him. Never mind. The O line and D line. Because the fact of the matter is, you only go as far as your offensive line and your defensive lines. It's always in the trenches. It just is. What do you think about the O line play in that game? Go, Brynn. Talk to us.
Nick Ford must have listened to me.
Nick Ford.
He listens. He must have because I coached him.
The puck's gone, man.
No, it's moved over there.
Oh, it's over.
It's coming closer.
It's getting closer to me. I'm
You
scared.
better watch your back. Anyways, Nick Ford, yes. He got it together like I've been telling him for the last few weeks. The snaps weren't as out of control. The
No,
O-line.
he played great.
The O-line, it clicked on Saturday.
Yeah.
They played great.
There's a couple of things. The O-line played the best game they've played. I'll say this real quick. This was the Utah team I've been expecting to see
Right.
all season.
Yes.
This was the team that I was hyped all offseason to see. Watching this game, they dominated. This had feels of when Utah blew out Oregon at Oregon. This was kind of that same feel. Beat the crap out of them. The O-line played great. Mika Tafua is an absolute man-child on the D-line. There were Thomas. Dude, he held on to the ball, number one, but he's an absolute animal. So it was just great. And then Cam Rising, what do you say? The guy played out of his mind. So
for the offensive line, if you think back on it, whether it was there it is.
oh my gosh, it's flying.
It does fly.
It's a B.
No, it's
No,
not.
Oh,
Where the
it just flew in front of the camera.
Freaking beetle.
Oh my gosh, now it's on our light.
It's a beetle.
YouTube, did you just see that?
that was
It's going to attack us
The
all.
attack of the bunker beetle.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
It's a freaking beetle.
It's-
Relax.
It flew so close to me, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, O-line. Yes.
O-line.
Okay, whether it was the running game, the passing game, they were great.
They were great.
Okay, that's how we need them to play. That's how we expected them to play. They played great. The defensive line, man, whether we got to Slovis or not, he was under pressure. And even when he got rid of the ball, he got hit a million times.
Yeah.
Yes, he
The
did.
D line, Tafua, 2 sacks.
Tafua, he's an absolute beast.
other rushes upon the quarterback. I don't know. The D line, I just felt like in the trenches.
We
It was a different
dominated.
game.
Yeah, we dominated.
At least, and in particular, the offense. What is my hearing?
It's someone's outside the bunker
Talking very loudly.
Very loudly.
God, we have so many
Going
distractions
on down
today.
in here.
Jeez.
Anyway, that to me is where we start. And then it goes with you. So Cam Rising, what do you think?
Unreal. He played so freaking well. His decision making, number one, was spot on. He never put the ball in a spot that was even remotely close to being picked off. And guys, we went downfield with the ball.
Oh, I know. It's
like
amazing.
7 or 8 times.
Well, I've got that stat. Keep talking.
His decision making was good. I felt like he kept the pace of the game. He was running our offense is what it definitely felt like. He had the confidence to do it. He made the throws. I mean, if you haven't heard, of course, the flea flicker. Try saying that 3 times fast. The Beatles still on our light.
I know,
The flea
watching
flicker was Rising calling that play.
Accidentally.
The mix up, but then they went with it, and I mean that was unbelievable. Cam came into his own in this
That's
game.
a good way of putting
I think
it.
the difference between Washington State and this game was huge.
2 points. First is what you just said, James, is we had 4 touchdown drives of 75 yards or longer.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Okay, so there's that. The other thing with Rising that we have to realize, other than his injury, in 4 plays
Last year.
against USC,
Right.
you can't really count that.
It's gone up and over the light now. I'm watching it. Don't
Okay,
worry.
It's okay.
this is his second start.
Yeah, it's only his.
Everybody, think about
Second.
this. This is his second start
Wow.
as a college quarterback, and it's so positive. You could just, he came into his own. Some great things. The other thing I'll just throw out here at this point is, and I didn't write down or catalog all of the explosive chunk plays because we haven't had any, I don't think, or very few this year, and that's not usually what Utah does. But in this game, we had some huge plays.
Huge
The
plays.
flea flicker.
See,
Flea
it's
flicker.
hard.
Flea flicker.
It's hard to say.
The flea flicker. That's a Vele.
Vele.
Okay. That is a huge, big play. We had
It was so un-Utah.
I was just thinking that in my head.
It was
It's
like
4th down, dude.
It's 4th and 1. Let's try and run the clock out and hopefully get it and kick a field goal. No,
Let's go
let's
for
go
the end zone.
38-yard bomb.
I loved it. Loved it. Well, because it worked.
Then
but
Yeah.
then we had a 40+ yard to Theo Howard. Mm-hmm. Another big play. And then Thomas had
Thomas
a
had a run.
40-yard run for a touchdown, and I'm missing something
Which
else
wasn't even my favorite play from Thomas. There was a play where he stayed into block and they had a corner blitz.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And he put the guy 7 feet under the ground
Yes.
on a pancake block. It was
I feel like that was one of our
That's actually a
touchdowns.
play of the
No,
game,
'cause
dude.
it was the
Look
next-
that baby
the
up.
next
If you
play-
haven't seen it, look it up.
Yeah, the next play Thomas took it 38 yards, whatever it was.
The pancake
block.
block.
Creamed him.
You know what I feel about Rising? Because Utah football, they'll post the pictures before the game and things like that. And there was a picture of Rising coming out on the field, and he just had the
Dressed in
biggest
white.
smile on his
Looked
face.
like he was coming from heaven.
He probably was. But, like, he just had the biggest
Yeah.
smile on his face. He was so excited to be... I don't know. Like, I feel like he radiates...
There's an energy.
That energy.
Oh, there's no question.
And that definitely showed.
You know what my favorite
against
play
USC.
of the whole game was, though? Wasn't the flea flicker.
To Cole fathering
Flicker?
him? You're...
So, first of all, Cole had a huge block, too, on the
He
Thomas
dropped one,
run.
though.
He did.
Favorite play of the game. We take a knee. There's 50 seconds left in the game. And the jack wagon from USC calls a timeout. The game's over. So you know what Whittingham does? Calls a 12-yard pass.
I love that.
I
Kyle.
freaking loved it.
Love it, Kyle.
We should have gone for the end zone, in my opinion.
Ram it down their throat.
But real, like,
Yeah. It was
Game's over,
it was
bud.
Sweet.
it was sweet.
It was sweet.
It was such a fun game.
I loved watching Thomas.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean-
an absolute beast.
Now I like our running backs.
Thomas
Pledger,
is the guy, though.
I like Bernard, but to me it seemed obvious that he finally got back in the game, and you could tell they've been working with him and holding the ball. But just his power and his energy. There was just something that he's the guy. If he can hold on to the ball, he is going to be the premier back. Now, what I do like about Bernard, for instance, though, is out of the backfield, the screens and stuff like that.
He can catch it.
He's gets some great plays with that. He's a threat, particularly with that. But, man, as a running back, Thomas seems to be the guy if he can hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Because he came into the game and it was different.
He
You could
made
tell.
huge plays, and he's got that really aggressive running back, so hard to tackle, and you just ran all over him.
No, the first guy never brings him down. No, the first guy never brings him down. And
It's very Zach Moss.
my favorite thing is it was freaking USC. Every guy on that field on Saturday was a 5-star recruit. Every single one of them. Now, credit to Drake London or whatever the dude's name is. He had 180 yards receiving.
Well, he's
But
the only
he was
offense.
And in all reality, Clark Phillips
Yes.
Phillips is a freshman playing on the best receiver in the entire country.
And he did a good job.
pretty dang good job.
He did.
Yeah, Witt, though, right after the game, someone asked him about it. Mitchell or Riley. Had another name, but asked Witt about that they thought he played good, though, basically saying what you just said.
Yeah.
And he acknowledged it, but he goes, he made some mistakes, though. He made some judgments, and I mean,
He's
a guy
young,
and
though.
The thing is, London didn't catch all of his 160 yards man to man against Phillips.
No.
I mean, there was some zone and other stuff, and yeah, there were some mistakes, some positives. I'm not disagreeing with you, but he's got to tighten it up a little bit.
Well,
But it still felt like he was doing well at
I
times.
mean, that's the thing. He didn't get burned every time, but does USC even have a running back? I think we said this when we were watching the game. Do they even have a running back?
And he's probably a 5-star dude that's unbelievable.
Well,
Their play calling's ridiculous.
They never play him.
Well, let me ask this then. Okay, I was thinking about this.
Yeah, how many yards did their running back have? Because I know that Slovis had like
do they-
400 yards.
I think he had, though, like 70 or 80 yards.
Let's see, I can tell you.
running
70.
back?
70.
Ingram.
Yeah. Okay, you're talking USC, and I agree with you. Their recruiting it's USC, but USC is a bad football team.
Oh, no question about it.
Yeah.
Utah played good, absolutely dominated because USC isn't the USC of old. They're one-dimensional. It's London. The guy, I mean, Slovis threw, I think, 50-something times in the game. But when I'm watching it, and to be honest, USC sucks right now.
Dude, he's coming at you.
Get this thing out of here.
It's like
Where's
a bat. There's a bat
Where's the
flying
guard
in
dog
here.
when you need it?
James, go grab that thing.
No, I'm not touching that thing.
If you guys are going to freak out.
I don't know where it went now.
It's on the couch.
Right there.
Oh, God.
USC's a bad football team.
Yeah.
They have, to me, have hit rock bottom. They're out of it this year. They're not going to catch up with us for sure.
No.
But the thing is, I think USC has hit rock bottom. I think they held on to Helton way too long.
For 2 years too long.
I don't know what behind doors what they're talking about, but he wasn't the guy. They just held on to him too long, and this has just gone down in the crapper.
Right, because they have talent. They have so much talent.
I guess so, but
Well,
we
that's
kicked their butt.
That's what's so scary about it. Is
Yeah.
at some point, I mean, it's freaking USC. When they get the coaching hire right, which at some point is going to happen, they're going to be a top 4 program again, basically overnight. I mean, we've been saying this. It's pretty much been this way, though, since Carroll left the program.
I know.
They haven't had a good hire since then. They've had a couple of good seasons, but it has not been consistent. When they get the hiring, and by the way, I don't think it's going to be Herb after all the crap going with Herb. I've heard a bunch. I would be surprised if it was Herb, personally.
Not in today's environment.
Chris Peterson is another name that's been thrown out there. He has been reported to have already turned the job down.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So we'll see what happens. I'm loving the fact that they're trash.
Oh, yeah, we
I
kicked
freaking
their butts.
love it.
Are you?
Next, all I want is Oregon to be this bad.
For Utah, for not having them the dominant team, it's great for us, okay?
Yeah.
But nationally speaking,
It's very important that they're good, nationally speaking.
It's bad for the conference for our league that USC should be a national
That's true.
threat. They always
That's
have
true.
been. And it's great for Utah. To me, I'd rather rise to their level and not have them falter and go into the dumper like they are right now. I don't know. I find it.
I just love
I'm
beating them.
satisfied that we've beat them, that they're not very good, but then at the same time, I think it's great for college football, particularly for the West,
Yeah.
that USC is one of those teams.
Yeah.
a
I
good
would say
That-
if you could get Oregon and Washington, who's a dumpster fire right now too, and USC, those three programs out west need to be good to give respect
Utah needs to be
to the
that
west
team.
side. Now, Utah could be one of the top 4 teams for 6 years in a row, and because we're Utah, we're not going to get that respect.
Did you see, though, today, Kirk Herbstreit named his top coaches of the week? Kyle Whittingham was 4th.
Well, Kyle Whittingham should be 4th. After all the crap
but
that
that's
Kyle
cool.
Whittingham just it's very cool,
Well, right.
went through, and then he had this team that
Yes.
level of prepared and focused. It's unbelievable. If they had come out and led an absolute dump, you'd be going, I get it.
Right.
But this team came out and did the exact opposite. It's incredible.
42 points. None of us predicted 42
Yeah, what was our
points.
scores?
So
I think I was 28-24.
you were 28-24. You
I
were
was
28-21.
Yeah.
I was 34-24.
We scored 42 points.
I'm glad I was that wrong. I never saw it coming.
I never saw this coming.
Love it.
But we almost picked USC. I mean, it's off by 2 points.
It doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Gary, no, it doesn't.
That's Gary's,
Just because you're so far off every time
that's
doesn't
Gary's
mean.
go-to.
I'm 5
is-
points off. I was
Yeah,
21.
I'm only 2.
You know, I didn't look if anybody else got it right. I should
I
look
know,
through
we
it.
should look.
Hold on. You guys keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
That's right. We had.
We asked
We had
people.
some predictions.
That's right.
What?
I put that poll out there. I forgot about that
on our group.
on the group. Were we going to win? Now,
Oh,
is this
yeah.
good or bad in your minds? 76% said we're going to win. 24%
Quick math.
said. Yeah,
That was dangerous.
24. Didn't think we were going to win. Is that good or is that bad?
Well, I think it's good that people were saying
That
we
many,
were
or should have
gonna
been
win.
more Utah fans?
Well,
Yeah, I'm a Utah
What do you
fan.
think
I'm
about
also
that?
very realistic, though.
I told you, man.
I legit did think we were going to win this game.
I did too.
I felt very good. Now, again, did I think that we were going to beat the wheels off them like this? No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But it was sure fun to watch it. Okay, I'm trying to find.
But
all
there's
the-
no way I was going to predict we were going to score 42 after what our offense had been doing for
no, I thought it was going to be a lot closer fight.
those games. So, hey, be that as it may.
I love this comment. Macy Losi. I apologize if I'm butchering that. I agree. Just says Drake London is a little bitch.
Yeah, he was
He was talking trash and we're
yeah,
beating
it
him
was
by
so
20
sweet.
points.
When
We got into his head, dude.
Oh,
He was
but
out.
He was just chirping, and I'm going, bud, you're down by 29 points or whatever the freak it was.
Yeah, you look like an idiot when you're talking trash.
Yeah,
and
when
you're
the guy's
getting
out of bounds
beat.
by 5 yards and you shove
and
him
you
down.
shove him. Ooh, big tough guy.
Tough haul. Yeah. Okay, well, any other thoughts on USC? All I know is that
It was fun.
it was so much fun, and it wasn't because we just was grind them out. Like
No, no.
sometimes
No,
it was
we beat him.
we big plays. I don't know, man. It was cool. It was so much fun.
It was
I feel
fun.
like look, Andy, Mr. Ludwig.
he's
I was like, who are you talking
He's an
to?
avid listener.
I know Andy. I know you listen.
We text like
all the
frequently.
time. Would you please open it up like this?
Keep doing that. That game
Okay,
plan was amazing.
Open it up. Just let's push the ball down the field. They can do it. They can do it. It was fantastic.
We didn't mention Money Parks.
Is that the sweetest name?
Best
That's
name
the best name
ever.
I didn't even know. I mean,
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman. He hasn't really played.
It was his first catch, first touchdown
touchdown.
at the Coliseum, and the dude's name is Money Parks.
The best.
I want to meet this man. Just
It's not his real name.
I don't care.
It's
He was
not-
interviewed after the game.
It's his real name in my
That's
heart.
all right.
Riley and Mitchell interviewed him.
To think through it.
You can't.
I can't,
Keep going. Keep
Nostrils.
Going, keep going. There it is.
and I forgot his look it up and tell me. But I think he was like 3 years old. They called him Money.
And they went with it?
It's Montez. It's not Montez. It's
Okay, but I don't care.
anyway. And it's been Money the rest of it.
I
And it's
love
like perfect. He's a freshman.
Yeah.
Comes in first play. But they were practicing it. He said he knew he'd be getting the ball, and well,
It was
here we go.
amazing. Loved it. Loved it.
Money Parks, man.
So we
Okay.
had the poll, by the way. It was 76 to 23 we would win. So 80 people said we would lose.
Losers.
They're probably the ones that got kicked out of the group over the weekend.
I'm sure 3 or 4 of them
Because
were.
we kicked out some.
I kicked out a handful.
Kicked out some people.
Some deserved it, by the way.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. Oh, I do have some score predictions. I'll run through them through here. If anybody got it right, I'll give you a shout.
Put your name out.
What was the final? What was it? 42?
42-26.
26. No
26.
26. That.
26. Okay. All right. Well, as great as that was, and it certainly puts us in a that basically knocks out USC, and
We're in the driver's seat.
And even if there was some weird crap that happened head to head, they're done.
They're done.
So with us,
True.
it's basically over. So
True.
this week
This is the week.
is
Yeah.
ASU. Can I say ASU
Yes.
for ASU?
Yeah.
That is their
Sorry,
name.
it's ASU.
ASU. Thusly known as.
They're coming
Pronounce
into
it.
town.
Yeah, you gotta really pronounce it. ASU.
ASU, ASU.
I don't
There you go.
understand the problem.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
they are 3-0.
Did you just flip me off?
No, I went 3-0.
You're really good at math.
Go.
It's late. 3-0
Well, yeah,
in the conference.
We said
We're 2-0 in conference.
these 2 weeks are the season,
Yeah.
basically. USC, we've taken care of that. Now it's ASU.
I've said this before. I don't believe in UCLA. I think that they're a paper dragon a little bit. I don't paper dragon, paper tiger. What's the
Paper
saying?
tiger.
Paper tiger. I don't believe in them. Okay, you can edit that later.
No.
Anyway, I don't believe in them. I think it comes down to Utah and ASU, and I think this game. It's. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of football left, but this game is huge.
What are they? They're 19th.
They're rated 19th in the country. Coming here, 8 p.m. kick. It's gonna be. That place is gonna be rocking, baby.
The thing is, here's what with the Sun Devils is, can we win? Absolutely, can we win? Can we lose? We can lose.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
no. That sounds stupid, but no. There's sometimes you're going to play a team that the odds are by far you're going to lose the game. They come rolling in. You played some teams, but with ASU, we've watched them. Watched them against the Zoobs and watched them a little bit on some other games. It's all Daniels. The guy, they have a running back, but the main threat is Daniels, the little twig. The guy's he's a twig. What does he weigh? 150? They probably say he weighs 180, but the guy looks like he weighs
Tell you,
150.
I've got him pulled up right
But
here.
it's all him. It all goes through him.
185.
And he is a threat. No way he weighs that.
185? No.
So their stats this year, and what this means or not, I don't know, but their passing yards per game is 228 yards.
That's average.
And their rushing yards per game is 214. So they average they're balanced.
They're balanced.
They average 443 yards a game. But it runs through him it's just because he's not a pocket quarterback.
No.
He's shifty. He's the threat. We kicked his butt
2 years
2 years
ago.
ago when they tried to.
I think he had 24 yards passing. So
It's going to be the same.
he's the
Game
same.
plan.
He's the same quarterback that he was then. It's going to come down very heavily to getting pressure like we did last week. ASU's got a very good defense, so they rely very heavily on their defense. Their defense is way better than what we just played against SC. So they're very good, very disciplined, great defense. And then you're right. Every now and then, little Daniels makes a play, and that's how they've been winning. So it's going to be a very tight game. It should be awesome.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. You've already mentioned it. Everyone be there on this.
There's
thing.
no excuses
Yeah,
to be late
it's-
for this.
You know, I'm concerned because I'm seeing all over our Facebook group people selling their tickets. They're not going to be there. I
Dang.
understand it's fall break. I think a lot of people are out of town. Find somebody to use your tickets.
Give them away for Pete's sakes.
Give your tickets away. We need the stadium packed. And that goes for the students as well, because it is fall break. So come back from your trip. First of all, you can be back by Saturday. If you're not going to be back, find someone to use your ticket. You can get student tickets still. Each student can get up to 3 tickets for $25 each. Be at the game.
You're right, James.
On time.
But you said it.
yeah.
See, here's the significance. Well,
of course I'm
the
right.
advantage that Utah has is we have ASU at home, and we have UCLA.
And Oregon. We had all 3 teams at home.
But here's my point with ASU and UCLA is they're the ones we're going to be contending with in the South.
Yep.
And if you can win the head-to-head, you can. If you have the equal record,
You win.
you win. And so if we could beat, and it's such a big deal we have them at home, it should be an advantage. They're both going to be at Rice-Eccles.
Yep.
If we can beat them, and even then after that, because those guys are not going to go, neither of them going undefeated.
they'll lose
They're going to
another
lose
game.
some games as well. But if we can beat them, and Utah has then a buffer
Yeah.
against,
this game is
against
humongous.
either of them. It's much different from losing to them, and then you go beat Colorado and everybody else. But ASU then has the game up on us, so if we end up tied, they have the tiebreaker. So these games are massive. If we can beat them on Saturday, we're in the driver's seat to win the South.
Utah
And
fans,
get that ball rolling, man. That's
Just-
my thought on the significance of these.
just remember 2 years ago what freaking a-holes ASU was.
Oh, they're
and the
king of
dirty
the pricks.
crap that they were pulling through that game, and then Herm didn't take any responsibility for it. Just remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
Be there and use that anger to support our
They
team.
are undisciplined.
They're very undisciplined.
Oh,
And
they're
that can be-
freaking pricks.
Let them be.
Let them be.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rip on this one more time. Guy on my row that doesn't matter if the game starts at 12 or 8 that shows up.
Oh, I know who you're talking
You know who
about.
I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That shows up consistently 15 minutes after
8
kickoff.
p.m. You should be able
It
to be
doesn't
on
matter
time.
if it's 11:30 in the morning.
Leave your house 15 minutes earlier, people. Leave your tailgate spot. The game's at 8. You've probably been tailgating for 7 hours. You can leave 15 minutes early. This place should be absolutely rocking.
Gary leaves his tailgate an hour early. It takes 5
It
minutes
takes
to walk
7
over.
minutes to walk
But
over.
he leaves an hour early.
Dang right, I want to be there.
But hey,
I want to get in the
I
atmosphere.
want to get there, buckle my chair in, look up and go, I still got 47 minutes and sit down.
And then you've got 4 hours.
And my
in
wife's
there.
mad at me because she's going, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
Tell her to stay. Come out later.
This game is so huge.
Yeah.
That there's no,
Be
and
there.
It's late. Kids' soccer games are over. There's no excuses. Be there. Be loud. I think it's going to be an
Give your tickets
awesome
away.
game.
Yeah,
Fill
but-
your seats.
But what you said, though, I think is actually significant.
Of course it is.
When
Amazing.
when you look at how clean we played against USC, if we can do that and allow ASU to be the undisciplined
Jerks.
jerks that they can be,
Get a couple freebies
dude,
here and there.
That is an advantage, and you take advantage.
You hit Daniels a couple times.
break that little twig. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Put the pressure on like we did with
Tafua.
Slovis.
So
Lloyd.
personally,
Lloyd would.
we win.
Can we? This is what I want. Can
we
we
just
put
have a-
Lloyd and Daniels next to each other? I just want to see the difference.
Lloyd's an absolute man
That's
child.
what I'm saying. No, he's a beast. So
No,
it's like
he's unbelievable.
Lloyd will break him in half. He'll just get to him,
We
and
could
then
spend an entire podcast talking about my love for Lloyd.
Okay.
that's fine. We can
Look,
do that.
Let's
No,
go.
we're gonna do it.
Let's go with our predictions.
I haven't thought about it enough.
Well,
Do
you
we
have
win?
to.
Yeah, we win.
We win.
We win.
It's 27-23 Utah.
This is the Thomas Orthodontics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Thomas
Predictions.
Orthodontics.
Game
Gary dropped
predictions.
this on. We weren't prepared. Thomas Orthodontics.
Okay, predictions.
Is that all we're gonna say? In Utah County,
Yeah.
support him. Everybody
Good
down in
dude.
Utah
What did
County.
you just say? What was your? You started.
27-23 Utah. And the game ball goes to Thomas. He's gonna have 2 touchdowns. And Daniels will have 17 yards passing.
I'm gonna go. Oh, what am I doing? 31-28
I could see something like that.
Utah.
I'm going 35-24.
11 points would be great.
You always go like 4 points off of me.
Well, it's football. What do you want him?
It's
7?
35-24. Utah
6
wins.
to 7?
Absolutely,
Hey.
we're going to win this freaking game. We're going to be able to put some points on them.
I think so too.
I
I think
do.
our defense is going to be strong enough that we're going to be able to stop them.
35-20.
And then it's going to be field position battle games. They're going to score some. I think we're just a better team at
So-
this point.
Let's do it, Ute.
Exciting.
Be there. Okay, let's go a couple other topics, though. Brynn went to Texas A&M
Yes.
and watched an SEC game. Talk to us. Tell us about that experience.
people.
I didn't get to see the Alabama game. Freak.
That was
So you were 2 weeks ago.
I was
Who'd they play?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
State.
And I know that because they did the chant, beat the hell out of Mississippi State the entire game. So
Can't say that.
it was an experience. Anybody who knows anything about Texas A&M, they're just so rooted in tradition. So it was fun to be able to see all the traditions. I had no idea what was going on. They sing a lot of songs where the whole stadium.
Kind of like hand gestures and
It's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Even the old geezers.
everybody.
Yeah, the old geezers are standing. They're not complaining.
Oh, no. They
Weird.
are all into it.
Weird.
They all sing the song. They all like.
Turn it down.
The music was very loud.
It's too loud. I can't hear myself.
The music was on a 10 the
Turn
whole
down
time.
your freaking hearing aid and it'll be fine.
They all like kind of crouch down together when they're singing. Like the entire stadium. My husband and I are standing there like, we don't know what to do. This is
Get
weird."
into it.
They all put their arms around each other when they do the
Oh
sway.
yeah, the sway and every row goes opposite.
And then they have their yell leaders. So it's the 5 yell leader guys down on the field who have their hand signals.
So
Everybody
cool.
knows the hand signals. Everybody knows when the guy does this, that it's a certain cheer, and then the entire stadium
That's
does it.
cool.
How big a stadium?
It's 100 and is that 100,000 people?
That seems too
We
much.
looked this up. No, it's
It's
like the
80,000.
4th biggest or something like that.
I'll look it up.
I said this to you both. The stadium actually reminded me quite a bit of Rice Eccles, except they have a 3rd tier. So that makes a huge difference. But kind of the 2nd tier down reminded me a lot of Rice Eccles.
Did they do anything as far as like students or whatever that you wish the Muss could do? Or-
Well, they have 20,000 students.
That's crazy.
who go. So the campus is about 60,000.
It's 102,000.
Dang.
Yeah. So big stadium.
That's
So
double.
this-
If you're right.
The students
Extra level.
take up basically end to end all 3 tiers.
Jeez,
So it's
that's
just
amazing.
full. And they have the cadets are intertwined with all the students, but then their whole band are cadets. I mean, the students were into it. They stand the whole time, which the Muss does too. But just having 20,000 of them, I mean, that's big. And they all do the cheers. I mean, everybody does the cheers. I wouldn't say it's like where it gets you super hyped. Like the stuff they do doesn't get you, like you want to run through a brick wall, but it's so cool to see everybody doing it all together.
At what point of the game did they play Sweet Caroline?
Never. They did not play Sweet Caroline.
What about Ooga Chaka?
No. They did play.
Or Metallica turned up to 3.
Turned up to- yeah.
Or
You-
you
can't
turned up to 9.
You can't even hear Metallica.
It's hardly even up.
They played. This is the thing that I enjoyed. They played like the Macarena and stuff, but they played those on quarter breaks. This is what we've said. You can play those songs, but play them on moments that don't matter.
That don't matter.
And
Halftime.
Don't play them at all.
And then on 4th quarter,
They're stupid.
Mississippi State had missed a field goal, so A&M was going to have the ball
And
to
immediately
win.
it was Ooga Chaka.
No.
Ooga Chaka.
It was
No?
hype.
Oh, weird.
And it was loud.
That's the key.
And then A&M lost. But you know what? It was fine.
Good
But-
game, though. I watched it.
It was fun. It's fun to see that experience. And the
That's-
SEC, it's so different.
SEC's different.
And then the fact that they beat Alabama yesterday.
Let's talk about that
Not
for a
yesterday,
second.
Saturday.
That was a game.
Can you believe that? They beat Alabama.
You should have gone to that game.
I know, free. Well, we couldn't have afforded tickets to that
No.
game.
That would have been... That was the second largest turnout they've ever had in that stadium was on
I think
Saturday.
people were camping, the students were camping out like all week last
Well,
week.
yeah.
And we were just talking about this. You've seen the video of the kicker's family of when he comes
I
out.
feel bad
to
for
do
him,
the
man.
game. It made me. I couldn't do it. If that was my son, I couldn't do it.
His poor mother couldn't even open her eyes. She was so freaking nervous. And
Wouldn't
then
you be so nervous?
his girlfriend or wife or whoever she was jumps over. It was good. If you haven't watched it, just look it up. It's amazing.
They beat Alabama.
Everybody's
So,
cheering for that.
I was
Oh,
definitely
it was a
cheering
great
for him
weekend.
because now I feel a kinship to all of my A&M.
Yeah, she was doing the
Aggies.
cheers in her basement.
You got to.
I don't know all the cheers now. I need to learn them.
The thing is, I'll say this about Alabama. I hate them, so this doesn't mean I have any sympathy for them. But you have to admit, I mean, they're always the number one team.
Well, they're the best team.
And no matter who they play or where they play, it's the biggest game of the year for everybody. They give them the absolute best, and they're playing good teams.
Yeah.
I got to admire the fact that they're as good as they are when they're always getting the best from everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But having said all that, I'm so glad they lost.
It
Now,
was
So
wonderful
great.
watching Nick Saban
so Georgia's
lose.
now won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's freaking number 2? Like Iowa or something?
Iowa beat Penn State over
I
the
don't
weekend.
care.
Well, Iowa
There
was
is
like,
no way Iowa's the second best team in the
I mean,
nation.
they
Is that
were
who it is?
They were fourth.
Is that what I
weren't
heard?
they?
Yeah, it's Georgia, Iowa.
No. No way.
You know who's number 3? I love this. Cincinnati.
No way.
Dude, Cincinnati's legit.
I don't give a crap.
No,
They're not better than Alabama, neither of those teams.
Yeah, but I like that it's new people this
I
year.
like it too. I'm just saying that's why this is
no,
stupid.
Here's where I'll disagree. I'm fine with those top 3 because Alabama's going to be back number 2 by the end of the year anyway. Okay?
Fine, I guess.
Here's where I have an issue. Oklahoma's number 4. Oklahoma,
They can't even.
number 4? Give me a break. I know they beat Texas. No one cares.
Yeah,
Texas
a lot of people
is
care.
Not that. I mean, Texas.
I know. A lot of people care.
Dude, it was 55
to 2 when they came back
48
and
or
won.
something.
So
I
that-
just am sick of Rattler who got benched.
He's crap.
He was garbage, but keep getting forced that he's a great quarterback. He's not. Shut up about
Well,
it.
if you get benched,
He's
you're not
done.
Great.
And then he pouted, by the way. Did you see that?
The A&M Stadium
Crybaby.
has all-you-can-drink soda.
That. Rice Eccles, I demand it.
You buy a soda, and then in the concourse are soda machines, and you can go back as many times as you want. And if you're a season ticket holder, you buy 1 cup for the whole season. It's like $30.
I'd be 700 pounds by the end of the year.
I know, you just keep going back. It was great.
I had to sneak mine in. I mean, I had to buy it there legitimately.
Your code red that you
Yeah. I've got systems.
All right, I want to get your opinion on a couple things.
don't give away your secrets.
I'm not giving my secrets away. I'm just telling you.
Here,
I can
okay,
get anything.
We're going
in
to
that
change. We're
stadium.
going different direction. Different direction. I'm curious. I was thinking about this, so I want to get your idea. As we all know, everybody knows, there's a few rule differences between the NFL and college ball.
Yes.
And I want to get your opinion, which you think is best.
'Kay.
Or you prefer.
Let's go.
For instance,
Pass interference.
in football, or
In football.
in college, you can't end in a tie in college ball. You can end in a tie in the NFL.
You should not be allowed to end in a tie in a professional league, period. End of statement.
I agree with that. I
Yeah.
think that's very
I-
strange to end in a tie.
There's no reason.
I hate that in the NFL that you can actually have a tie. Now, talking about overtime, do you prefer the NFL model or the college model?
NFL model. I used to really like the college model where it was 25 yard line, and you go back and forth, back and forth. But now they've changed it where you only do that twice, and then it's like a shootout. It's 2-point conversion back and forth.
Yeah,
back
because they
and forth.
want a winner. They want to make it a winner out of it.
I didn't know that was even a rule change until this year.
So we played
Till we
overtime.
played, and I'm going, why? This is stupid.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I
at
don't
all.
like that new part of it, but I prefer college.
But but it's
I hate
all
the college one.
all encompassing. Yeah,
It doesn't feel to me like a real football game where at least in the pros they kick it off and then then they just play the normal.
Well,
field.
and in college, the game can go into overtime tied 20-20, and then by the end of the game, it's 96-94.
then it goes all in the stats and all that.
and
stuff.
all of a
It's
sudden, you look at the
true.
stats and go, that quarterback had 15 touchdown passes.
That
I
is
don't.
true.
So okay. So
Yeah,
we
so
we like the
NFL.
pro.
She's wrong.
I think it's cheesy in the college. I don't like it. So okay, the other thing is another one.
Another one.
And this is an interesting one. I mean, in college, you have the ball, you go down, you're down. Plays ends. In the pros, you can go down, and if you're not touched, you can get back up and run. Do you prefer one or the other?
I think if the part of you touches the ground, you're down.
Okay, that's college.
So college.
No, pro. I like that if I get behind the defense and I make a diving catch to catch the ball, no one touches me. I can get back up and score.
I prefer the pro.
You
You need to be touched.
gotta be touched down.
Okay.
She's just wrong.
So there's
she's
that
0
one.
for 3.
You know what? I like college better. What can I say?
Okay,
But
this-
what's funny is I prefer college football.
Doesn't sound like it.
So in the NFL, so when you on a pass to the sidelines or in the end zone, whatever, you have to have in pro ball 2 feet inbounds. In college, just 1.
I'm college again.
Why?
1.
Why? Explain yourself.
Because if you have 1, then you're in bounds.
No, it's 2 feet.
Oh my gosh.
I like the 2 feet. I think it just makes it
Do
more
you guys
skilled.
even like college football?
apparently-
I love college
I don't.
ball, but I'm just well. I mean, I live with it,
Apparently, no.
but it just I prefer
It takes so much more skill to get the 2
to
feet
get the
in.
2 feet down. I just think
I saw a catch yesterday in the Cardinals game where the ball was like 6 feet out of bounds. So he stretched out of bounds, but somehow his 2
feet were in.
touched and dragged, and it was the
I
most
get
incredible
that.
catch.
I understand
I
that.
just
But I
like the 2
think if
feet
you
myself.
get 1 in, it should count.
Again, she's
the
0
other
for 4.
thing. College ball. The clock stops after first downs. In the pros, it doesn't. It keeps running.
I'll go first on this one so that you can. I like that it keeps running. Personally, I think that it stretches the game out so far. You can get the ball back in college with a minute left and no timeouts, and it's like 3 minutes if you play it right.
It's okay. Your honest answer. Do you prefer?
He likes NFL.
NFL.
I thought you said you were gonna. Do you like
NFL.
the? Okay. What do
NFL.
He's voting NFL every time. So are you.
No,
do you know what I'm gonna say? What do you? What
do
do you
you
like?
think?
Do you like the clock to stop after every first down?
Well, it's only the last couple minutes of the game, but yeah. Anyway, continue.
It only stops in the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's not the entire game that they do.
Didn't
that
it used to be the entire game?
I don't
Did
know.
they change that?
I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. Anyway,
I thought the clock stopped when you. I don't know.
It stops.
college or
Well,
pro.
because it only stops for like.
It stops for them long enough to
15
move the chain.
seconds or
If
whatever.
that, it's like
Still.
5 seconds. But that's enough time for the entire offense to get up,
Oh,
get
I'm
ready.
gonna say college, even though you're all gonna jump on me again.
I'm not. I don't jump on. I don't care if you. This is a freedom zone. You can have your.
Oh.
You can have your.
It's a free speech zone.
free
but
speech zone.
I
But
need to hear-
I prefer the NFL. I don't like them stopping.
There's so much stoppage.
I just don't like it. So here's another thing. The 2-minute warning in the NFL is they stop the clock at each end of the half at 2 minutes.
I don't like
College, they do not.
I don't like the 2-minute warning.
Why? It's a free
You
timeout.
just said that you don't like that the clock is stopping all the time. Why do you like it stopping at 2 minutes?
I didn't say that I did. I just want you to explain yourself.
Just what do you prefer?
I think it's
I-
a weird
You have-
time
I mean,
to just
not
stop.
to get keyed up, but we're just. What,
I really genuinely don't care. I've never really thought about the 2-minute warning.
well, you should. It matters.
I don't get it. I think it's unnecessary.
It's very.
we-
It is weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's
like
bizarre.
why do you need that? You should be able to manage your own
And the
time.
NFL, it's like an extra timeout, and that's
Yeah.
how they
They play it like
they
this.
play it like that.
I'll go with college on this one.
I prefer college. I don't think they should have the
What?
2-minute warning. I
I've
think it's
never
stupid.
actually thought about it, but it's weird that it's
It's
an
pointless.
arbitrary. It's a 2-minute warning. Big deal. It'd be like
2-minute warning.
it's weird.
Now you'll notice it. Here's another thing you may not be aware of, and I can't remember the exact yardage from the sidelines, but the hash marks.
Yeah.
You know what the hash marks are, I presume.
I do know.
Do you know what the hash
Yes.
marks are? In pro ball, the hash marks are tighter.
Yeah.
In college ball, they're wider. And that has an effect on kickers because if you've got a bounds on a particular side, the ball is set up at the hash mark.
Further
So the
out.
angles in college ball for the kickers, it's tougher.
Interesting.
And so that's why even in pro and college, that's whether if they were setting up for a field goal, they'll run it into the middle, or to a certain area where the kicker wants to kick. That's where the ball is set. But you go outside the hash marks, or you go out of bounds, it's at the nearest hash mark is where it's set down. And in college, the angles are greater.
Are there any other sports that there's such different rules between college and pro? You're listing all of these. Why are there so many differences?
I haven't really
I
thought about it.
wouldn't think so.
Another thing is, I think we'll probably agree on
Somebody
this.
figure it out and tell me.
That in the NFL,
I'm sure.
NFL, there are only certain plays that can be reviewed. In college, anything can be reviewed, basically. I don't like how college gets slowed
It's
down.
just wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets exhausting. Some games take forever.
Yeah, where they review every single thing.
And then finally, I'm not going to read the exact language on either of these, but the targeting in the NFL and the targeting in college. So, and of course, both of them have to do with the crown of the helmet, going at the head, and all that stuff. But in college, automatic gone.
I hate that.
NFL, you're not automatically gone, though you can be ejected if it's flagrant enough. What do you think on those?
I think NFL. I feel like we've talked about this before. I
We
think
have.
there needs to be a little more leeway in deciding if it's flagrant enough to eject the player for the rest of the game.
Yeah, there should be tiers of it.
Yeah.
You know, if it's malicious or with intent. But there's so many plays where guys just are trying to make a tackle and their heads.
Yeah, I don't
I don't like it. You've missed one. My biggest is the pass
PI.
interference rule. In college, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Think about that.
Period.
One. Okay, bring it up. Just
Yeah,
what
that's
do
like
you
the
prefer?
biggest one to me.
15 year. In the pros, it's a spot foul. It should be a spot foul both leagues. Period. If I'm a DB and I am getting beat and the ball's in the air, you bet your butt I'm going to tackle this dude before he catches the ball 70 yards downfield because it's a 15-yard penalty. Big whooped. But in the pros, if I do it, it's a spot foul. It should be
Yeah.
it should be the NFL rule.
Okay,
in
let
both
me
leagues.
let me just. I mean, I go back and forth on this one. Actually, it's a tough thing because if someone actually is getting beat and they tackle him, sometimes you can tell the guy juked him, he grabs him, and so he can't catch the ball. But sometimes the guy throws like a 50-yard bomb,
It's a prayer.
and the guys go up, the dude, and the ref throws his flag on some garbage.
Yeah.
And it's like they get bailed out.
Yeah.
And it's a 50-yard gain off a crappy call. That's the part of it that bugs me. That's where I hate that spot foul in the NFL.
And a lot of the time they are hoping not for the guy to catch it.
They
That's
want
what,
the
yeah,
call.
that's what I was going to say. I feel like a lot of times offenses do that purposefully. The quarterback just throws it up there knowing likely the ref's going to bail him out. And then, like you said, sometimes that ends him up on the 5-yard line when it was designed
in the end
that
zone,
way.
you're on the 1-yard line.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
For defensive players, I think that's crap in the NFL.
There's just plays where a guy is 40 yards downfield, gets intentionally or not intentionally, he was going to catch it, gets taken out, PI, it's only a 15-yard penalty.
What do you think? And I'm just thinking outside the box here. Here's how we're thinking. We're thinking if something like that is a judgment call.
We're giving refs too much credit on that then.
No, because but sometimes it's extremely obvious. I think I just saw a game, I can't remember which game, the guy faked like an out, the guy came up, he was going to break on him, he was busted,
grabbed him.
and he grabbed him.
Yeah.
To me, okay, you got burned, dude. That's a spot foul. It's going right here. Versus, the guy cuts and you run into each other and it goes down and it's pass interference. To me, I'm okay with the 15 yards.
Okay, well, you got to pick one. You can't
Something
fence ride this.
like that.
College.
I think I prefer college
Oh my gosh. I'm really surprised.
only because I don't like the bailouts that the NFL
Until
gets.
it's the Raiders that get beat.
The Raiders
the
just
play.
did that yesterday. That's
Raiders
what I was
suck.
thinking. Well, the Raiders suck.
But that happened. It happens all the time, and I'm just going, okay, you just got screwed. You're holding them, and some guy throws up a prayer, and it's ticky tack, and some ref decides to call
Or
a
on a Hail Mary. I mean, it
40-yard
Yeah.
pass.
Right. Yeah, I don't like that.
but I can go, on that I can go either way. But
right.
anyway, there you go.
There you go.
You've got it. Any final thoughts? We got a
experts.
game here.
Big game. Biggest game of the year.
They get big, big, big.
Biggest game of the year. Be there. Be loud.
The
It's
weather should be great, which is
A little chilly,
wonderful.
so
It'll be a little
don't wear
chilly,
shorts
but
unless you're an idiot.
Yeah. Wear something. I mean, dress warm. Get a bunch of alcohol in you so that you feel good.
I mean, we've had lightning, we've had very hot, so I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to this where I can wear a sweatshirt.
It's the Ute Proud game.
It is the Ute Proud game,
I don't even have. We don't have that mini helmet.
so I believe they will be inviting the tribe. I don't
That'd be
know
cool.
that for sure, but they usually do. Just
So,
be there, please.
we need the Jackass Award on the way out.
Jackass of the week.
So this is the Jackass Award. Now, maybe some of you folk were watching the Texas-Oklahoma game on ABC, which is Channel 4.
It was a great game, by the way.
Unbelievable college football game. It almost doesn't get better than
No,
this.
it was the best game probably of the season, at least to this point. Period.
Unbelievable game. I've come down. I mean, I'm not a great fan of either, but
No,
I was watching it going, freak, this is fun, particularly because Texas was kicking the snot out of Oklahoma, and I was about to leave, and then
Choked.
all of a sudden they scored, and Oklahoma comes all the way back
and then it's tied.
with their second-string quarterback. They put Rattler out. They come back.
Good call, by the way.
It was a good call. The guy's good.
Rattler's trash.
Oklahoma, I think this is the timing, tied the game up.
Yeah.
Okay, they tied the game up. I believe it's 5-6 minutes left in the game, and it's now here it is setting this up. It's the same channel that the televised Zuby Boise State game was going to be on. It was going to come up after the Oklahoma-Texas game. Well, the Oklahoma-Texas game was going a little longer, like that does happen.
Happens
happens.
almost
But
every
this is
week.
one of the
Every
best
week.
freaking college football games you can ever watch. It's tied up in an unbelievable comeback.
With 5 minutes left
With
in the game.
5 minutes go, and there's a timeout for whatever. I go get a beverage to come back and watch what is going to happen here. And the freaking Channel 4, the idiots over there made a decision to go to the Zuby game that was just starting. And there was nowhere else to find it except on
I had to pull up on my phone.
Okay, there was a few, but there was nothing else. I had to find a radio channel on my XM.
To listen to the end. That's how you listen. You
I listened to the
end?
freaking game because these a-holes, hold up, these holes changed it so we could watch the Zuby first 5 minutes of the Zuby game instead of one of the best college football games.
You know how many times the Utes game has been on like ESPN, and they'll just say this game's going long. You can catch the start of the Utah game on ESPN News.
That's what I was going to say.
Man, it was unbelievable.
This happens every week where games go long, they go into overtime.
this is what happens.
They never switch over to the beginning of the first game because the fourth quarter is where you
This is
need to watch.
jackassery at its
Especially,
finest.
King jackassery.
Especially this kind of game where it's
It was
tied.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
You don't.
This wasn't Massachusetts and Tulane playing.
No.
Okay, I wouldn't have cared.
Even in that game, I would have gone big deal. This was one of the biggest college football rivalries. Huge comeback. Game is tied, and you're right. I'm
Like
sitting there watching
40-something,
it,
40-something.
and it kind of happened, and I kind of went, "Are they switching over?" Sure
Couldn't
enough,
believe it,
I
man.
can't believe they could do that. That they
Dummies.
could make that call,
So-
to be honest.
ABC Channel 4.
Congratulations! This is their first win.
This is their first Jackass Award, and they
Congratulations.
highly deserve it.
Isn't ABC4 the same channel that years and years ago switched
Dipwads.
over from the Utah-Wyoming game and put on Harry Potter? Do you all remember
Oh,
that?
I do remember
I do
that.
remember that.
I think it was.
I'm pretty sure that was ABC4. So maybe it's the same person that's still there 20 years later that's still making these horrible judgment calls.
It was bad. That
was terrible.
So-
I'm sorry.
Congrats on the Jackass of the
Maybe
week.
the Zoobies were going crazy on Cougar board and they couldn't miss the first 2 minutes. Anyway,
Maybe they
Rein
wanted
it in.
Maybe they wanted to miss the
Jackassery
rest
Channel
of the game.
4. All right, Ute fans, Saturday.
It's gonna be a good one.
This sets us up big to win the South. We need everyone there, and we need to be loud and supportive.
And if you can't sell your tickets, give them away, or let one of us know. We know plenty of people that would love to go to the game. We need the stadium full.
Yep.
Be there. It's gonna be
Need it
amazing.
full.
It's gonna be amazing.
Let's do it.
Go
Yeah.
Utes.
Take us out, K. Scott.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Where'd our bug go, by the way?
I
I'm
have
telling you
no
what,
idea.
you can see in their
He was
eyes,
right
the
there,
boys ain't playing, they ready
and
to
he's
ride.
gone.
Taking the tunnel, just screaming and yell if you
That
ain't
bug
ready, you
was
get
that
eaten
freaking
alive.
big.
Taking the field with loads of passion.
We should name him.
The bunker bug.
The bunker bug.
I think it was that big.
Full of crashing in between those lines. You boys, we about to ride.
Yeah, that was the size of the bug.
Right
there.
Like an army mission when it's wartime. We stacking them W's, pay attention. Opponents coming with apprehension. We stay on top of our division. Went from BCS buses to playoff contenders. We on the rise up. Now the boys mad.
on, Utes.
Mad. We have to tighten them.
Take
boys
these
up.
boys out.
That was a fun week, I gotta say.
We on the rise up. Now the boys mad. We have to tighten them boys up. We here for the crown. We on the rise up.
Rise up.